Today we will be talking about centripetal motion. If an object is moving in a circular direction, you can use the equation the sum of the forces equals mv squared over r to find the centripetal force. In this equation, the m stands for the mass, which is measured in kilograms. The v stands for velocity, which is measured in meters per second. And the r is the radius of the circle the object is traveling in, which is measured in meters. For this equation, you add together all of the forces being acted upon the object. All forces that are directed into the circle are positive. All those directed out of the circle are negative. Let's look at an example. Say you have a 10 kilogram mass that is attached to a string that has a breaking strength of 200 newtons. The mass is being whirled in a horizontal circle with the radius of 80 centimeters, and we are trying to find the speed, the maximum speed that it can have. So you have your 10 kilogram mass that is attached to a string of 80 centimeters with a breaking strength of 200 newtons, and it is traveling in a circle. Because it is traveling in a circle, we can use the equation the sum of the forces equals mv squared over r. Then you just plug in the numbers. The only force being acted upon this mass is at 200 newtons, so dF is 200. The m is the mass, which is 10 kilograms. We are trying to solve for the v. And then the radius is 80 centimeters, which is equal to 0.8 meters. Then you just solve for v, and then you get about 4 meters per second. Let's look at another example. Say you have a roller coaster car that enters the circular loop portion of a ride. At the very top of the circle, the speed of the car is 15 meters per second. The diameter of the loop is about 40 meters, and the total mass of the car is 1,200 kilograms. And we want to find the normal force that is exerted on the car by the track. There are two forces acting upon this car. There is the force of gravity, which always points down, and then also in this case, we have the normal force, which points down as well. Because it is traveling in a circle, we can use the equation the sum of the forces equals mv squared over r. We add together, because there are two forces, we add together the Fn and the Fg, and set that equal to mv squared over r. A common mistake is plugging in a negative Fg, because the Fg is pointing downwards. But in this case, it is pointing downwards, but it is also pointing into the circle, so it remains positive. Because we are solving for the Fn, we want to get that alone. In order to do that, we subtract Fg from both sides. So Fn equals mv squared over r minus Fg. Then you just plug in the numbers. The mass is 1,200 kilograms. The v is 15 meters per second, and the radius is 20 meters, because the diameter is 40 meters and half of that is 20. Then the force of gravity is just mg, so the m is 1,200 and the g is approximately 10. Then if you just solve for the normal force, you get about 1,500 newtons. And that is all.